Let's do.
Okay.
Welcome to Soaring in Faith. And this is my friend Melissa, and she's also my swim coach. Yes.
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 Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for being here.
Yes.
So, how did we meet? We met, Melissa's the team mom. She's also the team
Yes.
mom on our
For
football team
Yep.
that
I
my
think
husband coaches.
Yeah, I think it was just through football.
Yes. And how long have you been with the team or a team mom?
Let's see. I've been team mom since the beginning, so all 4 years.
Wow.
So 4 years
okay.
that they've been playing, I
Yes.
think. So,
And she's an
4 years.
awesome team mom.
Thanks. Well, it
Yes.
comes easy, and I
Yes.
do enjoy it.
Yes.
And I
yes.
think it comes from a place of just trying to make people feel welcome.
Yes.
And trying to ease the burden for coach so he can coach and I can do the
You do an excellent
behind
job.
the scenes stuff.
You do an
So,
excellent job, and I
Well,
thank
thank
you for him as well. And her husband also coaches too.
Yes,
Yes.
that's true.
So they've got a great team. So one day Melissa and I were talking, and we were sharing. We had a discussion about athleticism and DNA. Remember that day we were
That's
talking
right,
about
yes.
that?
At a track meet.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it the track meet?
Yes,
you're right.
Our boys also did a track
Basketball and you're in them basketball
meet
together
together.
and football.
Together. Football and
Yeah.
track.
Yeah. So I thought it was at a basketball game.
No, I think it was at the track meet that
So,
we were up
You're right.
Yeah,
The track
in
meet.
Golden.
So yes, so we're talking about, thank you for reminding me about that. We're talking about athleticism, and in the past, I don't know if I shared that with you or if I was talking like this then, but it was kind of like, I think Michael got that from me, and
That's
we
right.
were having
Yep.
those conversations.
We were talking about that, yep.
And we got into swimming, and that's when you told me that you swam in high school?
Yes, yep. I swam in high school. Yep.
And I shared with her that I never learned how to swim. And
And Tori, your daughter, was standing there.
Yep.
And I remember Tori saying she had she had gone on a swimming trip or
she went to Hawaii
to Hawaii
to
and-
visit.
Yeah.
And swam with dolphins and didn't know how to swim.
know
Like
how to
had
swim.
never learned. Well, I think she did enough to go snorkeling or whatever she
Okay,
did.
yes,
But
yes.
that baby girl, she didn't tell me her plan before she left.
Yes.
And I prayed the whole time she is gone. And thank God, because I had no idea she was planning to go
Yeah.
diving with dolphins and
Right.
stuff. So she is actually, she was standing
Yeah.
there too. And Melissa offered to teach both of us how to
Yes.
swim.
I think that just caught me because I thought, oh.
That is so
somebody
sweet.
Somebody who doesn't know how to swim, I can teach you. That's
That
the
is
easy
so
part.
sweet.
And
Yeah.
I think anybody who wants to should know how to. And some of that came also because my son in second grade had lost a schoolmate who drowned in second grade. And that just broke my heart, especially because I have swam, been on a swim team. And then after college, I guess in college, I was a lifeguard and I taught swim lessons. And then I coached a swim team.
Wow.
And I was the assistant coach for another swim team. And so I thought, if there's anybody who needs to know how to swim, I'm happy
That is so
to
sweet.
use my skills. And I know there's, a million other coaches that are, better than I am. But the little bit of knowledge that I have, I'd love to share. So
Yeah, you have been awesome. That is so sweet too. So she offered to teach
yes.
me and Tori how to swim, and then I also have my oldest who is like, I would like to learn. And, so
Yes.
and then
That's
Michael
great.
wants to learn,
Yes.
and I think because I shared in one of the earlier videos that my husband's more old school, and his way of teaching the kids to swim was to toss them in the pool. But then my mother-in-law was telling me that she did that with him, and I was like, okay, now that makes sense.
Yes.
But Michael's just not having it.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
So
I think for some people it can be beneficial and it
Yeah.
can actually work. But I think for other people it can be almost detrimental to where then they never want to swim
Right.
because it stirs up too much fear and uncertainty.
Yeah.
And then they don't
Yeah.
I don't know, trust water or trust they just fear water instead of
Absolutely.
understanding how it can work. And so
Absolutely.
I texted you earlier this week and said, I'm so proud of how far you came. And I meant that from my heart because how far you've come in 3 sessions of us meeting for about an hour is amazing. And I think it speaks to your drive and determination.
Thank you so much.
An overcomer spirit to try to overcome something hard and put the time in and really work at something. So
thank you. I just, man, it's been a blessing. The first lesson was super duper hard for me.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, I don't know if I can do this. Right? Like I felt super embarrassed. And I think the lifeguard was like laughing at me.
But then she helped us too.
She did end up helping us.
Tweak,
yes.
I wouldn't have even known that you were that nervous or that fearful. I
guess I felt embarrassed because I was like, gosh, like, I don't need all this attention. I just want to learn how to swim. And then the man, I didn't know he was watching me until the second time we got in the water. And Melissa swam down a little ways for me to swim to her and do something. And I guess the man caught you and started talking to you and shared some. And
I think, is it the guy that just made the comment? He said, she's come a long way since the last time. And I thought, you were the same guy?
Yeah, swimming in the lane next to us.
And so he just happened, I think, to oversee and recognize how far you had come in just 2 sessions. Which
Yeah. That second session, I was like, you know what? Like, and Melissa, you were so genuine. Like, you were super duper, just real. And, I think by the second time I was just like, I got this. And I look at you in your eyes and I'm like, she's got me. That was tough because when you were telling me, I'm just going to hold your tummy a little bit and you go ahead. And that was scary. But then I realized she's not going to hurt me and let me, I'm going to be able to go back home.
But there was something that drummed up in you right at the end that you said, no, I got this. Let me do this.
Yeah.
I just need, and you
This last time?
No, the first time, the very end of the first session that we were together after an hour.
Yes.
And
I think I do remember that.
There was just something that clicked, and I think a sense of confidence.
Yeah.
And a sense of, I'm going to overcome this.
Yes.
And it just kind of snapped for you, and you said, wait, let me pull together my old information and my new information.
Yes.
And let me do this.
Yes.
And you did. You pulled it all together.
Yes. That was the part that was the hardest was, I think, remember I shared with you that I knew how to swim underwater. Oh, you want to go outside? And she's okay. She's okay. Oh, look at how she's looking at you. She's precious. So that was the part that I think I shared online is, I was sharing how, I lost my train of thought just a little bit. How I was learned how to swim underwater.
Oh, yeah.
And so Melissa said, well, show me what you know.
Yes.
And then I think I was like this, and I was like, maybe not. Because I was like, I might not be able to come back up.
But you did it. I think there was that little piece of a memory of what you knew.
Yeah. And the little piece.
And you pulled it all together.
Yeah. But it's who you are, honestly. It really is who you are. You're very patient. And I can't wait for Tori. Tori has been so busy with her schedule, but I cannot wait for her to, and she feels so bad. And she's always saying, Mama, tell Melissa, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get there. But we're so happy to have you.
Oh, good.
So grateful.
It's been very fun. And I've had to pull from information that I haven't visited in a very long time.
Yeah.
Because it's been 22 years, I bet you, since I coached a swim team.
Wow.
And so
things change.
Yeah, because that was before I even I'm a hairdresser now. And so that was before I was a hairdresser. That was when I was in beauty school. And so
you've had a new life since then.
So
Wow.
to pull from that information but I thought it doesn't go away. It's always, and it's just a love of mine that I.
Oh, you're so sweet. So I have this brother. He's like a mentor, and he's also been on me. But my dad used to tell me, nobody should live life without knowing how to swim. Then like my husband, and then my mentor, he's I call him my big brother. He's been on me. He used to be in the Navy, I believe, but he told me he needed to know how to swim, and he was like, you you got to learn how to swim. And he has been on me a couple of good times that I've been like, Brother Herb, I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn. And I was like, I know when I shared with him, he's going to be super happy. But I was waiting to get to that point of saying, Brother Herb, I'm 100% of a swimmer right now. And what would you say? What percentage?
Oh, I think you're 85% there.
That's a blessing.
I think like when we meet again, I want you to have the confidence to go a little bit further, a little bit more without touching the bottom.
Okay.
A little bit more without kind of the assistance.
Okay.
And to trust yourself. Just to trust the water, trust yourself.
Okay.
Because I want you to be able to get to where you know, like, wait a second, I don't have to fear this.
Absolutely.
Because I can trust the process. I trust what I know. I trust what I've learned. And I can put it to use and go do it. Now I just have to do it.
All right. And I like just you talking about that has caused me to, like I feel stuff dropping, like my organs dropping into my stomach.
You got to breathe through it.
Yes. Wow. One thing I can't picture though, and this kind of just scares me just thinking about it. I cannot picture jumping or going into the water from the deep end if it's taller than me.
Yeah.
Like even 5 feet, because I'm just a little bit of smudge over 5 feet.
Yeah.
But my goodness, I still, do you think I have the capability to float?
Oh, 100%.
No way.
100%.
I can't believe you. How am I going to float? Because my feet are always on the ground.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that, I don't know what to call it. It's a thing.
Yeah.
To dig into, like, you ask yourself why 5 times.
I haven't heard of that. Nope.
So there's a piece where you say, so if you say, I'm so scared to jump in, say, to the deep end. And then say, why are you scared to jump into the deep end?
Yeah.
And then
So
whatever
you're answering
your answer
your
would
fears.
be. And then it's like, well, because what if I drowned?
Yes.
And you kind of say, yeah, but you have the qualifications now to know how to get yourself above the water. So why would that be the scary thing? And then when you have that next answer, then you say why one more time. And then you say why one more time after you answer whatever that next answer to that question is.
So the 5 whys
And
each
so,
time.
it's a 5 why. And then from there, you were able to kind of learn, like, oh my gosh, it comes down to either a lack of self-confidence or a lack of, like, the ability to trust kind of the water or safety or whatever that word is that it comes down to. And then you can really say, oh, that's what that is. And now I can overcome it.
Woo. Okay.
So,
well, that's that 15. Because I'm dealing with 15% fear. That's what's left is 15% of fear that's
just
left.
15%. But I also think there's some very vital things that we haven't put all together yet.
Yeah.
So we're not to the end of our, like, well, I've taught you everything. We're not even there yet.
Okay.
There's still, I think, 4 or 5 more pieces, and then, because swimming's a lot.
Together. It is a lot.
Swimming's a lot of pieces.
That first day that we went swimming, I think I went home and I was just exhausted. Like I went.
Oh yes.
When I went to bed, I was like this. Like my body was just so.
Didn't you say
my
your
muscle?
muscles
Yes,
were tired?
yes. And the second and third time, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
We had to take a little a little break
broke-
because of work schedules clashing and things like that. But we just the last time was recently last Friday, and that worked out real well.
That was good.
That
was the best.
That's where I hit my 85% now.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm excited. Well, I
Yes.
thank you so much, and
for sure.
I've been wanting to bring you on so that I can introduce you as my swimming coach.
That's
Part
a
of
big
my
title to
growth,
live
a
up to.
huge piece to my growth right now. That I know, just knowing that I've learned how to swim is going to help me in so many other areas where I deal with certain matters that involve fear.
Yep.
So I'm almost there.
I know. I think you're just an overcomer. I think
I
that's the
appreciate
word.
you. I appreciate you, and I'm going to maybe next time I'm on, I'll be able to share with you all that I am a 100% swimmer.
Yeah.
I'm swimming.
I
at
think you're a
100%.
swimmer now.
Okay.
But I think your next step is to say, I can swim a length of the pool.
Oh yeah, because
without
that's where.
assistance.
Yeah, because I think I maybe 3 to 6 times, and then I stop and my feet,
Yeah.
And
you definitely like to swim where your toes can touch, which is okay.
That's what I was just going to say is I scraped my toe last.
Oh, you did. Oh, no.
That's what I was just about to say that. And then I was like, I don't need to tell them that. But I love touching the ground.
Touching the butt.
She's
That's
back.
my puppy.
I love
Let me
touching
get her
that. And when I scraped my foot, I was like, this doesn't feel too good.
Yes, no, that does hurt.
Yeah, that hurt real bad. And I was like, I better keep my feet.
That pool can beat you up.
Yeah, it took a toll on me last time. But, well, let's see. No, you're fine.
Okay.
So I'm going to, I think, oh yeah, because you graciously offered, I put.
Ooh, yes.
So I'm going to go into asking you some questions, because in my past videos, I've been discussing, I've discussed about entrepreneurship, and you did mention that you're a hairdresser, so if you wouldn't mind going deeper into that.
Yeah.
But right now I want to ask you, which kind of ties into so many of the topics that I've discussed in the previous weeks. One main thing that I've been talking about or sharing with my viewers is about purpose. And do you feel that you have, like, do you know what your purpose is in life? Do you feel like you're connected to your purpose? And the reason why I bring that up is you have been such a blessing to me to offer to teach me swimming. And I know you swam in high school and coached and everything. And to me, I see that as part of your purpose too. I mean, you're just a very loving human being that really connects well with people.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So I wanted to, one of my questions was, would you mind sharing how this experience of you teaching me has been for you? And then we'll kind of go into what you feel your purpose is. But
sure.
How has the experience been for you? Just
it's been very
after
good.
22 years?
Yes, right. It's been a long time of just remembering. It's like I just, to be very real, I thought there was a piece of it that it's like, well, I know how to swim and I could jump into the pool at any time. But there's also a sense of, can I like pull that information from the recesses of my training?
Yes.
And I don't know that I'm qualified. I'm not qualified to teach this. But then at the same time,
so
I
you
thought,
had your own doubts
for
and
sure.
fear.
100%. Because I thought, I taught children. I've never taught an adult how to swim.
Yeah. And I'm an adult. Y'all, I just had,
Yes.
I don't know, I just had my 55th birthday.
Woo!
Okay, it's out there, 55. And
Happy
I am
birthday.
thank you.
Yes.
I'm an adult.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Wow. So thank you.
Yes.
So
but yeah, I think that there's a piece that feels like I'm not qualified to teach this because it's been so long.
yeah.
But at the same time, I thought, I know.
She is
Oh,
cute.
my
Sorry, we're watching her doggy. And
Clara. Her name's
can
Clara.
we introduce her? She is so precious.
Come here.
Look at how she's looking. Am I invited to be on? She's so precious.
Yes.
Look at, you have to see if we,
There.
I don't know if we could.
I know.
Oh,
Maybe we
she's
can.
so precious. Look
do.
at her.
Here's
Sweet puppy.
Clara.
Oh, sorry, y'all. They'll be fine.
There she is.
Oh. But now she's hiding.
There.
Oh, she's so cute.
Well, that's quick. But
Oh, well, as long as they got to see her, 'cause she's
Yes.
precious. She is
That way
precious,
you know
y'all.
what I'm
And I'm a dog lover,
doing
so
on the side.
yes.
But
Oh,
yeah, so I had to pull from a lot of that old information and
Yes.
wondering if I was qualified to teach it. But I also thought from somebody who is recognizing I don't know how to swim and I want to learn how to swim.
you know you.
I thought, I can do something to help.
Absolutely.
I can impart some information to say I can teach you, at least get us to a certain spot.
That is
which
so sweet.
even
Oh,
when the lifeguard offered
Yeah.
that little bit of
Yeah.
information, I
Right.
think she just said, tuck your chin. And I thought,
yeah.
that's it. That was the key piece.
that tucking the chin is
you.
something else for me. I mean, really, I feel the huge difference in it when I do tuck my chin.
Yeah.
So I just have to stay used to doing that. I have to stay used to
And
it.
I think the tendency is you want to look up, and
Yeah.
look out, and see.
Right.
what's
And then
happening.
keeping my eyes open.
Yes, right. Yes. But it's so good. And I think that kind of leads into just what my purpose is, which I feel like so often I want to like, I just want to offer love to other people.
See?
And yes,
that's so sweet.
However I can offer love. And if love is teaching you something, I want to be there to do that.
You are so sweet. And I feel honestly that that's what I sense about you.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what occurred by the end of the first lesson that I had was this is truly somebody that I can trust that really you can tell that you love it.
Yeah.
So I so appreciate you. Man.
And I love to hear people's stories. I love to hear where people are at. I love to hear where they came from. I love to hear their perspective, their
sweet.
I don't know, their history, their like what they have to share. And so I love to love people, and I love to love people where they're at. And I think, like you say, you don't know. People are coming from all different places, from all different backgrounds, and all different thought processes.
Absolutely.
And to kind of just meet them where they're at and love them, listen to them. Maybe you have something to offer them.
Absolutely. And I think that's where a strong divine connection comes from, because I am also that way. And I, for the longest, struggled with trust, you know, just because when you've been burned so many times, you just kind of, it's probably a defense mechanism for me.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, just to protect myself. But I sense that about you, and that's why I was like, what better person to teach me how to swim than my Melissa?
Yes, that's good. I'm glad we met up.
Me too. So as far as purpose, do you feel like you've identified your purpose? What would that be?
I think to love others. I think
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Just
well,
love others.
and I do feel loved because when I'm in the swimming pool with Melissa, man.
Yes. Oh, that's good.
I truly have somebody I could trust. Her puppy is just having all kinds of fun, and I don't mind. I have 2 dogs myself. She's way better than my the 2 that I'm dealing with.
She found her toys.
Yeah, she's precious. So let me see. I've witnessed you giving so much of yourself. And I wanted to know, and that's whether we're on just as a teen mom, or if we're on with the football family, or, you know, just even offering to swim with me, y'all. I need to let you know, she will be working, and then she'll say, okay, when my last client is, I'm done at 4:30, I'll meet with you at like 5, or, you know, and I don't know how she does it, but she leaves from one thing to the other, and, you know, how do you balance? Because you do really stretch yourself.
Yeah. And I think 2 things. I'm not somebody who is idle very well.
Okay.
I like to fill my time. And when I have the energy and I'm in a good, what do I want to say? Like healthy and good headspace and everything, I want to be doing things. And there was a college professor that taught me lots. I think he taught me probably 5 or 6 of my classes. And I couldn't tell you anything that he taught me in like child psychology or
I've taken
family
those
psychology
courses.
or all these classes. But the one thing that he told me was give yourself a buffer. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, and I had scheduled everything always up to the minute. And so balancing time, part of the way that I balance time is to always create a buffer. So it's part of kind of saying, okay, if I get, you know, if I'm going to be done by 4 o'clock, what is the reality to actually be to the next thing? And so I always give myself a buffer. But, oh my God.
She is. I'm telling you, I think dogs know when something's
they know when something's going on.
She ran into the door and then turned around and looked at us. She's cute.
She's funny. But,
she is.
But I also think just in balancing time, you have to know when to say no.
Yes.
Or just say, I can't yet. I can soon. I will be able to soon. Or being very honest with this is my time frame that I can do. And so.
And that's fair. That is so fair.
Time or not balancing time, but saying yes when you can say yes, or no when you need to say no, and just creating a little, and I can tell you
Wow.
I'm not good at it all the time.
Yeah.
I definitely get behind on things, or I definitely get run down, but
Yeah.
I know it, and I need, when I get in those times, I have to say, oh, wait a second.
Absolutely.
Let me just pause.
Yeah. Pause.
And take a little bit of time,
Yeah.
regroup, and kind of come back. So,
Because I am
think it's
all about
boundaries.
that self-care. And I know the older I get, I'm just like you learn to value life a little more. And, and I'm okay with telling people no, but when it comes to my kids, I'm a little different. Like I will bend over backwards and forward and sideways. And it doesn't matter because I'm like, I'll make the energy when it comes to my kids. And I know even with that, sometimes they tell me, Mom, you've got to balance. But I will give my kids the world, my husband too. But I do see you doing so much. And I think even this last time, that's why I was like, if things are too busy, don't even worry. And you're like, nope, we're gonna,
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you. You don't know how much.
Oh, that's
She's
so
got, like, my daughter and I are planning something very special. So maybe I'll include that later
Well,
on.
that's very
Hi,
sweet.
sweetie, you are so precious. You are so precious. So what about, you mentioned about your business, being a hairdresser. How long have you been in the business? Or you said 22 years.
21 years.
21
I celebrated
years.
21 years of doing hair in November.
That is
So
beautiful.
I'm into my 22nd
That is
year.
great.
So a very long time. And I love what I do. It's a gift to be able to do what I get to do. And I had no idea 21 years ago when I started that I would still be doing it to this day. And I literally just said, God, if this is what I should do, then help me. And I will give it a try for a year. And if it doesn't work, then I'll move on and I'll find something to do.
Man.
But I
That is
jumped
such a
in.
blessing.
I was actually a probation officer at
No
the time.
way!
Yes. So
Now
I
see?
was doing, I was a probation officer at the time, and I was doing, I ran a DUI caseload. So everybody on my caseload had a DUI. So I was learning a lot from people.
Was that here in Colorado?
Yeah. That was
No
in
way.
Jefferson County. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I worked with the probation department in Arapahoe County,
Oh, okay.
but we were pretrial release.
Okay.
And then I went out to Adams County, and it was a different program, diversion. But I've always been, probation officers, diversion, and pretrial release. They all kind of do similar stuff. Wow, I didn't know that. How long?
Interesting. Yeah.
I know this.
2 years. I did it for 2 years.
I know the cases, they can give you pretty heavy cases.
Yeah.
Wow, and DUI is tough.
Yeah. DUIs was good, and to specialize in just DUIs, it made me very good at just, it helped me
That is
understand
excellent.
alcoholics.
Yes,
It helped me
the disease.
understand, the disease. It helped me understand the court system. It helped me understand just people and human nature, and
Sorry, she took my highlighter. I was like, I saw her scoop something. She pulled something down. Sorry.
That's okay.
She's
That's
sneaky.
Her.
Oh
She
my
is
gosh,
sneaky.
are you precious or
She's
what?
like a little busy toddler.
Oh, I love you.
But so doing the DUI caseload, I learned so much.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's really cool. So
it was
there's a
good.
major connection.
Yeah, big
That's
connection.
cool.
But it did prep me. I kind of look back and I just look how you can see, oh, God prepared you for the next thing.
Yeah.
Or for something that was much further down the road. And there's always something that he's preparing you for.
Yeah.
So that information that I learned during those 2 years was incredible. But I remember, and I'm so glad for the gift that I never forgot why I left that job. Because at the time, I remember feeling so bound by the schedule. And it was Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and it just was so confining. And I thought, I can't do this schedule.
Yeah.
This schedule just keeps me trapped. And I had no creativity, like no creative outlet. And that was the hardest part. So I still could love on people. I still could offer, my degree is in psychology, so I could offer what I had learned in psychology.
Yes.
And just talk with people, meet with them where they were at.
Yeah.
But I just needed more. And
Wow.
of course, when you're a probation officer, people meet with you and they don't want to see you, but they have to see you. And I thought,
Yeah.
I would love to be in a job where people want to come and see me, and
Absolutely.
they choose to come to appointments
Absolutely.
with me. And I had always thought of doing hair as a job.
That is
since
cool.
yeah, even in high school, I had thought about it, but
Yes.
there was just that. I'll use the word pressure. That
Yeah.
I should go to college. That's what you're supposed to do, and that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But hair just felt like something I should kind of keep in the background. So there was just a moment that just that nudge.
I
The
know.
Holy Spirit just says you need to do this.
That is so
And
beautiful.
so I started pursuing it, and I found a program that would work for me because I was out of college and I was paying my own bills and doing my own thing, and
Yes.
so none of that could stop. So I had to still find a way that I could earn an income and still pay my bills, and so I found a
Wow.
program that would work, and little by little I just started. I needed to find like a sponsoring salon because I did a apprenticeship program, and so the gal who had been doing my hair, she was an excellent
Wow.
hairdresser. So she was my mentor, and she taught me all that she knew. She was going through a lot of life challenges
Yeah.
at the time, and kind of into my career a few years, and I had been very clear with her about the things that I wanted to do. And how I wanted to pursue, or what I wanted my career to look like in hair as time went on. And I was very upfront and open with her at the beginning, and so that's what I pursued. And I can look back and through her challenges and some of the mistakes or choices she made, I thought that's what I would not do.
Good.
And
And
so-
that, yep. I teach my kids that. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I already made these mistakes, don't go, you don't want to repeat
Yeah.
them, so you learn
Yeah.
from it.
And
That
if you
is
can
cool,
have
though.
the perspective to know sometimes the best lessons or the best advice is what not to do or
Absolutely.
how not to do it. There was a few things that I thought that's a good lesson in what I don't want to do or
Absolutely.
don't want to pursue. And so she
That
taught
is-
me a lot of both good and bad. And so those were some challenges. But then over the years then, and just kind of knowing and seeing how the industry evolved and what was coming next, I could always work for myself
Yep.
and work at my own schedule, work on my own pace, take days off as I needed.
I
And
love that.
yeah, I worked for a lot of years. I bet you I worked for 9 or 10 years without having my son. And then now I've worked for 11, 12 years with having my son. And so it's,
And
two
everything,
very
like you
different-
get to prioritize family
Yes.
still too,
Yep.
because that is
Yeah.
so important. Like I quit a couple of jobs when I felt threatened that there was going to be some kind of disruption with me being able to or not being able to be there for my children. That job had to go.
Yeah.
And I
It's not
know
worth it.
it's not. It is not. And and I look back at my past and how my mom, she struggled to raise 3 of us by herself, but she was always working. She was working 3 jobs. And I stayed in trouble because she was never really home to supervise me. And I thought, not what to do, right? So,
exactly.
it was like,
Yeah.
even if there's a mom and a dad in the home, somebody, you balance that. He's, he would always do mostly overnights and I would do during the day. And
that's-
we found a way to make it work.
I think
Keep those
it's key.
kids out of the street.
Yeah, it's key.
What you mentioned is so parallel to my life because I love doing hair. My mom, I shared in a previous video that my mom popped me on the head with the brush so many
Yeah.
times that I was like, you're not doing my hair no more. I'm done. And she said, well, do your hair yourself then.
Yeah.
And I was 9 and I started doing my hair by myself and I learned to really get skilled at it.
Oh, yeah.
And so I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. But even though I ended up going to college and everything, there was always that passion, that internal passion of becoming a hairdresser. And I never got that opportunity.
Yeah.
But what I have been blessed to do is like Tori's hair. I would French braid it and do really nice braids and beads and, you know, and I've done, I've started dreads on 2 of my boys' hair and braids and all kinds of stuff because I love hair. And so that's been my part in life as far as being like, that's the closest I've come to being a hairdresser. But I truly admire you because for you to quit, I mean, those are totally different fields.
Oh, yes.
That's like, you have a life like mine where I'm like, I relate to that so much.
Yeah.
Whoa. And to pull yourself out of that.
Yeah.
Because when you mention about that schedule, 8 to 5 seems like it's easy, Monday through Friday. Thank God I don't have weekends, blah, 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 whatever. But I remember I had a report due for court.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to stay late.
Yeah.
Because my supervisor had to look over it and approve it. And sometimes she'd mark it up and say, we could take that out and make sure you mention this and that. And I remember not leaving for about an hour to an hour and a half. And I thought, this is too much. I think I didn't leave until 6:30. And I was new at the time, so I was in training. But, you know, the stress that you have putting, you know, preparing reports for court. And then I used to have to do the ankle monitors and people were cutting them off and putting them on animals and all that stuff.
Yeah. No.
And I always wanted to be a probation officer and it didn't work out. And I know in my last video, I mentioned how things that don't work out for you, you're protected from. The woman that got the position over me ended up with 120 cases.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how do you make sense of that?
Yeah.
How can you accurately supervise people who need to, you know, like they need that attention, and you can't accurately do that work if
that's a lot.
there's room
I think I had 180 cases on my caseload. Now for me, I only needed to see them once a month. And so that was a much easier task.
Yeah.
And they had already been through the system,
Okay.
received their sentence. So it was just a once a month check-in. And if they were doing what they were supposed to, there was just kind of a very easy formula to follow that was just kind of checking the boxes. And so that was very easy until things would go sideways.
Yeah,
for
if you have them.
people that were on your caseload. And so they taught, you know, those people, they teach you too. And
They
there's
do
a few
teach you.
that I literally could pop their names
Yep,
out.
you know who you're
And
dealing
I
with.
remember this one, and I wish them well. I hope they're doing good. But yeah,
You know.
it was a lot. There was
Yeah.
a lot of people, but
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that opportunity. And I loved my boss. I loved, you know, the people I got to meet as a result.
That is sweet. I never saw that in you. I just have always known you as a hairdresser.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, shoot, talk about your entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
But that's really deep because one thing that I've been covering with my viewers is sometimes there are so many different avenues to take. And I think my last video was about that, finding alternative avenues to take if some things don't work out. I was at a dream job, you know, when I started that job, and then all of a sudden I was like, Melissa, I got laid off. Like it turned really mean over the summer.
No, you did not.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
You were
But
sorting. You were just sorting.
I sure was. I was sorting and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. But you know, I had to realize that wasn't the end of the world.
Oh yeah.
That job was not the end of the world. And here you go from being a probation officer to a hairdresser. Like that is my life. Like I love that. That's a beautiful story. I didn't expect to hear that.
It was good. And one of the highlights right at the end, just before I had put my notice in, was one of the Jefferson County judges. He was a district judge, wrote a letter to my boss.
Wow.
And said, I just need to tell you what a great job Melissa's been doing, and there was this one particular case, and hopefully this gentleman, I kind of helped him find sobriety for life, and because he had tried to get sober many times and various reasons, but just the fact that this judge took the time out to write this letter to my boss, and you know, soon thereafter I was, you know, going to be leaving the job, but it also felt like the right closure.
You know when
and
it's time.
Just the pat on the back to say, hey, job well done. And
Absolutely. That's a good time to close. Yep. Wow.
That's good timing.
I really love that story. I did not expect to hear that, y'all. This is all new to me.
Yeah.
You probably have all kinds of little secrets in the closet. Melissa, you used to do what? That's cool.
Right.
Wow. Well, shoot. So that's, what about, we talked about your motivation behind becoming a hairdresser. What was it?
I think it was just timing, and I needed a creative outlet.
Something, that's what you said, a creative outlet.
Yeah,
Okay.
a creative
And
outlet.
then how long, and you told me that. I'm sorry, y'all, I have questions so I can be prepared. And so I just have a few more. You talked about, what do you think were some, and I know we went over just a little bit, some of the challenges that you faced as your own business owner?
Oh, I think a lot, the couple things that come to mind are, number one, just setting boundaries.
Yeah.
And kind of knowing your limitations, knowing when to say no, knowing that there's opportunities that aren't for you, that they're not going to work for you. I got to say no to this one.
Absolutely.
Or even no to certain clients or no to certain jobs.
Yeah.
Like somebody asks you to do something, and if I'm not, skilled in it, I don't want to take that on. And I think it serves us both to say, hey, no, thank you.
Absolutely.
It's better. But then also just keeping, fresh in what you're doing and loving what I do, especially after all this time, because there's a lot of time where you're, it can become very mundane, or when life is kind of throwing curveballs, there's often times where it's like, I just want, I wish I could just close the book on hair for 2 weeks so I could go focus on it. But then saying, no, this is a good space. I need to keep this, and I need to find a new love for my job or within my job and within what I do to keep it fresh and keep going.
That is so beautiful.
And when you only work by yourself, you have to find the places where you're going to find inspiration, find other people, find other hairdressers, or find topics and videos of new things to say, ooh, this piques my interest. I want to learn something new. So I think all of that kind of plays
That is
together.
So beautiful. Wow. And it does. If I could show you all her, it looks like it's a beautiful
salon?
hair salon. Beautiful
Thank
hair
you.
salon.
Thank
You
you.
really,
Yeah.
it looks nice. She's on it.
One of my goals was to be able to work out of my house, and I finally got
She's
the
got
chance.
the tightest hair salon. Like when you walk in, you don't even know it's part of the house. It's just, you're truly blessed.
Good. That's good.
That's such a beautiful thing. This is the best top notch hair salon I've ever seen in a home.
Yeah,
that's
that was
nice.
my goal. Was not welcome to my basement that we can do hair in, but welcome to my salon.
She's got a salon
like it in the house.
Yeah, that's nice. Very nice. And then, you talked about the challenges, manage, overcome. Okay, and then I think we answered everything. But the last thing that I would like to ask you is to share. Well, we're going to get into, I just want you to share your YouTube channel and then your favorite Bible scripture. And then we're going to wrap this up. We were trying to keep it to about 30, but in my past, when I've had guests, things come up and conversations, there's so much to cover. So,
and I think we're both talkers, that we enjoy.
And maybe our viewers are going to learn something. Absolutely. So those two things, your favorite scripture and then your YouTube. She just started a YouTube channel. And so tell us what your favorite scripture is.
That was, So I'll start with with starting my YouTube channel, which was really, truly just born out of some friends who always say, oh, Melissa, you got to share this. Melissa, you got to share this.
Sweet.
And I think, doesn't everybody know this? Seems like very simple information, and they're like, no, people don't know this.
Wow.
So I have a lot of hopes and dreams of what the YouTube channel is going to become.
Yes.
But for right now, it also came out of the reality of just, people are simple people. And of course, I love to do hair. I love to do whoever's sitting in my chair. But there's also, moms who are saying, oh my gosh, it's picture day tomorrow.
Yes.
How am I going to make my kids' hair look
Yes.
good between, in the next 12 hours before I put them on the bus to go get their school pictures done?
Oh, yes.
Or just, my husband's going for a job interview and he's got hair growing out of his ears and his eyebrows and all the things. And you just have to, find a little something. So what I've been trying to do is just do quick, maybe 3, 4, 5 minute videos of
That is cool.
if you just need to figure out how do I trim the neckline or
Yes.
bangs or whatever it is, a few simple things to do
That
on a
is
kid
sweet.
or, your husband or whatever it
Yeah.
is, your girlfriend. And so just quick videos. They're not, here's how to do a whole haircut, but
Yeah, that's
just a
sweet.
few little tips on how to do hair, in your bathroom for your family. And it doesn't, work me out of a job because, of course, people always need the help of a
Absolutely.
professional and, your whole head cut or your color done or
Yes.
whatever it is. So I just started it
That is
because
really
some friends, said, you have to do this. And
Yes.
your personality and
Yeah.
you're an open book. And
Absolutely.
I thought the nerves to be able to do that, the nervousness to
Yeah.
put it together and to put yourself out there and to really offer something that's good to people, that's really hard.
Yes, it is.
so I need to make more space and more time to keep new videos coming, but those will. In the
Yes, they
future,
will.
so.
Well, what is your YouTube channel? Share that. 'Cause
So it's Hello Gorgeous is my YouTube channel.
Hello, gorgeous.
Yes, Hello Gorgeous Hair, and I think you're going to put a link. to
Yes,
it, so-
I will put the link up. So, Hello, gorgeous hair.
Yes, Hello
Okay.
Gorgeous Hair.
Is your name tied into it at all?
I think my name is just underneath, but
Gotcha.
yeah,
So, Hello, Gorgeous Hair. I will include the link. I will definitely include the link. And then, what is your favorite? And thanks for sharing that too. Your favorite Bible scripture that you.
So my favorite Bible scripture is Galatians 5:25, and I think it is kind of my mantra for life, or my. It goes back to purpose and just the whole goal. But Galatians 5:25 that says, "Since we live by the Spirit, let us keep in step with the Spirit."
Wow.
And I love the little part that says keep in step with the Spirit. So keep in step.
I love that.
Because if you think of just God's talking to us all the time. The Holy
Yes.
Holy Spirit is nudging us
Yes.
and pushing us to do things. And if we listen for that still small voice, we have to take the time to pause and to listen. But if you're keeping in step with the Spirit, that is a very actionable phrase to keep in step. So
Yes.
when you need to slow down and when you need to speed up and when you need to
Yes.
listen and when you need to speak
Yes,
or act,
yes.
keep in step.
I
with the
love
Spirit.
that.
So-
Wow. And that's one, I know a lot of scriptures, but I wasn't familiar with that one. That's very deep.
yeah.
So I want our listeners, there's another scripture for you all. I try to provide scriptures each week, and she left you with a beautiful one. So that's, thank you for sharing.
There's a funny story about this just really quickly. I actually have this verse written on a plaque hanging in my salon. And I've known many of my clients for a lot of years, and many of them, some are, believers and
Yes,
some are not.
right.
And it just depends. And I make no excuse, but let me keep in step with the Spirit no matter who I'm working on. And my husband had it printed on a plaque when I opened the salon.
Oh,
And as
that's
we were
sweet.
moving in, it was sitting to the side, and it was kind of his way of just showing, like, hey, here's a little something. And he was kind of waiting for me to notice it.
Oh.
And I didn't notice, and I kept tripping over it, and I kept going, what is this piece?
It's in my way, yeah.
Yes, it's this big piece of wood that it had it printed on. And
That
I
is
kept
so
thinking,
sweet.
what? Can we move this thing? It's in the way. And he said, would you read it? And I stopped and I looked at it and I read it. And of course I melted because I
yes,
realized
that's
what
sweet.
it was and what it said. And that he knew it was my favorite verse. He knew
That is
that would
sweet.
be perfect for the salon. And so, of course, I hung it very
Is it down there now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's down there now.
What I want to do when we go downstairs, I'll just kind of like, I'll do a short.
Oh, yeah.
Because I
There
do
we go.
shorts.
Yeah.
And I'll do like a little clip of it and then add some
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
music and put it up as
you
a
can
short.
see it. Yeah.
That's
So,
going to be nice.
It's very much a very important verse in my life and in my daily walk.
Well, thank you, you all. And I hope that you can take away a lot from what Melissa has shared and the little bit that I've been able to share. But this has truly been a blessing. And I will get that up in a short so that you all can see that as well. But thank you. And I got to give you a big hug.
Thank you.
Oh, my
Thank
goodness.
you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, and God bless you all.
I've
Same.
enjoyed it so much. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
Next time I share with you that I'll be a swimmer 100%
Yes.
rating. All
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
God bless you all. Take care. Much love.
Thank you.